fourth period. Britain with a command of this game. Team Canada needs to figure out something and make some turnovers in a
It's
quick
always
hurry.
good. With the 40-second clock, this is an advantage because you know teams are not going to waste the clock 7-8 minutes, which we've seen before.
In international play, that would be a different story. This game would be basically over in some ways, right?
Absolutely.
Let's see what happens here. Britain has not had a hard time scoring. 28-23. I don't think it's going to be a very high-scoring game either.
No. Low 30s.
Okay, Ian Chan in and Fabien Laveau. We have a different lineup from Canada. Daniel Paradis and Jason Crone. So it's a little bit of a different group. Benoit's saying, okay, well, maybe this.
Canada's probably going to press a little bit here.
Oh, look at that easy score.
This is more Canada's pressing lineup. So let's see if they can make some turnovers.
They're locking in Ross. They're trying to deny Fabien.
No, couldn't get there.
No, Fabien's trying to deny Collins.
They're going to throw it deep.
Oh, look at that shot off the head. And he
Timeout.
recovers. Timeout. Well, Britain has the timeout.
Lucky break there.
Yeah.
Right off the head, but it didn't go immediately out of bounds. Just stayed on the court. Collins having a chuckle with the rest of his teammates.
Do you have to have the ball in your hands to call a timeout?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to have possession of the ball.
I thought so, but you know, we talk about the shot violation clock will run out on you even if you don't have it in your hands. So, you know, I'm just curious if they had any change for that. Well, with 7 minutes left, a minute off the clock, 4-point game, Britain with the ball.
That was a good defense from Canada, forcing them to use a timeout and almost creating a turnover.
This is what you said, the fast lineup. See if maybe they can. They didn't try to do much there against Morrison. They let him have a free reign there. Oh boy.
GB in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah. Oh, locked it in.
Another good press.
And an easy score by Troy Collins. A little bit of trouble, but not anything like the trouble that Canada's had. Nothing like it.
We got a corner trap here, executed by Danielle Paradis on Jason Roberts.
And that's a good,
very good strategy.
That's a good strategy.
Anytime you get Jason Roberts out of the play, you've done a good job setting up an easy score.
Yes, look at that. Canada has not had that many easy scores. The score is 29-25. We're back to 4 points.
Yeah, Canada with the jump now, but they still need a few turnovers here.
That might be oh my God, there it is.
There's one.
There's a turnover. Lions with a bad inbounds pass. Collins could not get a hold of that ball.
This is where you might see the British team just lacking a little bit of stamina here if Canada keeps pressing.
Especially with the speed that they have, fresh speed of Ian Chan and Fabien Laveau. There's some speed out there, and let's see what happens here. You can see, okay, I think Patrice has opened the door there if he can get his way through.
They're going to have to score quickly or call timeout.
And there is.
There's a push on number 6.
Okay, well, that's
push on Ross Morrison, and it's going to be a power play for Team Canada.
Yes, power play. Ross Morrison going to join us.
Pushing. 5 is 6-11. Oh, yeah, sorry. Small spike.
Yes, that's the, remember what side he's on, and okay, Canada with another chance for an easy goal.
Yeah.
And that'll bring it within 3.
And I wonder they're going to set up.
Yeah, they're locking in.
One-man press on Ross Morrison. Fabien Laveau is going to cover him. And they're going to try to keep number 8 high.
All right, look, Troy Collins coming to help out. What do we have here?
And Jason Roberts asking for an equipment.
Okay. He's locked up. As they say, locked up and loaded. Endurance may be the factor. Look at what they're doing with Ross there. They've got 3 men on him, trying to deny him.
Coach Lebrecht watching attentively what the GB player called equipment for. Sometimes players might use equipment as a ploy. Sometimes it's a loose elbow pad or something like that.
Right. You don't want to get yourself out of a hot water by.
Jason Roberts is playing with a Schmeeking chair, and those chairs rarely have anything wrong with them.
Okay, inbound pass. Ross being covered down the other end. And looks at Jace Collins. Oh, big hit there.
There's another one.
And there it is, another turnover. Team Canada. That was a big hit. Ian hit him hard at the right moment, and there was nothing he could do with the ball.
Canada's going to try to score quickly again. They got Ross out of the key, and the GB team looks a little tired.
Oh, nice. And he scores.
Yeah.
Fabian. Well, look at that. 2-point game with 5 minutes and 32 seconds. There's time.
And they've got Ross Morrison in a very awkward position, and a long pass to Steve Palmer, and they're going to hunt it down.
Okay, Steve. Oh,
and Jason Roberts
with the ball, and he's going to score easily. Well, that didn't work that particular time. Oh, that was a bad.
Again, that's another strategy that teams use.
That could have been called a technical on that one. That ball was not given to the ref. That was looked a little deliberate on Britain's part. And here comes Fabian.
Guys are smart. I mean, if they're going to get away with it, they're going to use it to their advantage until they get called for it.
Canada really needs to score quickly.
Yeah, they got a corner here. Danielle Paradis sealing Jason Roberts.
And there Ian with his good speed completing it. We're back to 2 points. 2 points is not enough. At this point, there's still lots of time left.
GB in a bit of trouble again.
Yes,
GB in a bit of trouble.
Ross has got to get rid of the ball.
And a long bomb.
Pass. Who's going to get there? I don't think anyone's going to get there from Britain, and that is another turnover. We are now in a 1-point game. I have to say, this game is turning out to be not yet a 1-point game, but a potential for a 1-point game. If Team Canada can score, they'll be back to 1.
I think there's a lot of fatigue on the GB side because that's very uncharacteristic of Ross Morrison to throw away balls like that.
Ian didn't have the door open. Now he has to wait for reinforcements. Here comes Fabian. Looks like they don't have a lot of openings here. They need to do more passing.
Last time out for Canada.
Yes.
Good. That was to avoid the 10-second violation on Fabien Lavoie.
Yeah. You know, the thing that we're not seeing is that they're not seeing the passing when they have a chance. They're looking for the blast their way through. When it seems like you have men open there that might be able to just back their way across. In that case, I think that Fabian could have scored.
I think it's a little bit of a question of trust a little bit. You got to trust those low pointers to grab those balls.
Yeah. Okay, Ian has the ball. They have 12 seconds.
Big hit, Lavoie in position.
And there it is.
Pass from Chan and a goal.
And there it is. Exactly what I was talking about. And now it is a 1-point game with 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
And Britain has the 2 timeouts in their favor. Oh, look at this.
They're going to need to use them.
With some long pass to Troy Collins, and he's going to score. 31-29, 3 minutes and 52 seconds left in the final period. Okay. That's a warning on Danielle Paradis. Here comes Fabian. They have to score. Canada cannot afford to not score at this point. Everything, they have to score and make a turnover. And then it comes down to possession, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Now the pass, and that's a nicely done score. And Jason Krohn, the Kroner, just scored. And we're back to 1 point with 3 minutes 34 seconds. Okay, inbound pass.
Pass to the low pointer. They're going to pressure him. They're going to pressure him.
Surrounded by 3 people. And
Good play
leads it
there
to
by
Ross Morrison.
Steve Palmer.
Yeah, did not crack under that pressure. And there's a quick score. Back to 2. 32-30. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. Ian Chan coming down. And there's Britain setting up in their key defense, which has been so effective this game. Like you said, they've got to figure out a way to lock them up so that they don't set up.
Yeah.
See what they're going to do here. Oh, there we go, score. Fabian LeBeau. Back to 1. Well, look, they've got Ross in a tight position there.
Yeah. They're going to again force the play for the low pointers.
Ross trying to get going. A low pointer covering.
Might be another timeout coming.
Oh, we got it to Troy Collins. And a long pass to Palmer. And he pulls it in. And nicely done.
Beautiful pass.
And there it goes for a score. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. We're back to 2 points. British Lion over Team Canada. This is the British #1 team against the Canada #1 team in this conference, in this tournament.
Yeah, they got the low pointer caught down up high.
So it's now a 2-on-3.
Yeah.
And here
In a
comes the rest of the
4-on-3
team.
right now.
But they,
Canada's going to have to
they
go
wait.
quickly.
But they wait too long. They have to move quickly. Oh, and Ian Channing scores. That's nicely done.
Yeah.
Back to 1. What is Britain going to do here? They got to get it in. Pass in to Troy Collins. He's under pressure. Back to Morrison. Morrison in transition. Being hit. He's moving. Back to Palmer. He's got the ball.
He's going to be pressured here. They got to pressure. They got to find a way to pressure that low pointer, and they can't do it.
No, Collins, and there he is for a score.
Steve Palmer making all the plays here for GB.
Oh no, not what you expected.
Yeah. Every time he's been asked to get the ball, and he was able to dish it off every time. Or score. Beautiful play.
And it is. Back to 2
Unsung hero of
points.
this game.
Steve Palmer.
Those low pointers sometimes don't have much credit, but every time he's been called upon, he's made the plays.
Well, I want to say one thing is he's held open a big, he's locked the door pretty big for a big area. Look how much area he's been covering. And now, finally, Ian Chan's going to score. But I'm going to tell you what, Steve Palmer, I agree with you, has really been a fabulous addition in terms of making this game happen. So we're back to 1 point.
Yeah.
Britain still has the advantage. Here, Troy Collins with the ball, trying to move.
Long pass, but Jason Roberts is under protection here.
And there we go.
So he's
Nothing they
gonna
can do. Roberts scores easily.
And again, he's
35-33.
thrown the ball away, and referees just let him get away with it.
I know.
But that's again, if they let GB get away with it, Canada should employ the same strategy.
Yes.
Consistency. If they call it both ways, same way, who cares?
Right. Oh, boy.
Canada's going to have to score quickly here.
I know, I was amazed.
GB still has 2 timeouts left, and they might just like cross half and wait for the clock to go down. No timeout.
Dan scores. 1 minute 6 left. They're up
They're
by 2.
going to have to make something happen quick.
This is it. This is the turnover. It has to happen if there's going to be any chance. They need to.
GB could run out the clock here with those 2 timeouts they have.
There comes Collins. Big hit. Leads Morrison. Oh, LeBeau put a hand on it, but he can't get to it.
Curious to see whose ball it's
I
going to
think
be.
it's Britain's ball.
Yeah.
I think Fabian had the last hand. But that was a good hustle by him to make something happen. That was a
And as a player, we always tell the guys try to sell it a little bit.
yes.
That it's off the other team.
Sell it a little bit.
Yeah, Canada's going to have to press here because GB's just going to wait for the clock to expire.
Yes.
They're going to wait for the clock to expire, have 1 second, call timeout, get a fresh 15 on the clock. They have to press.
Yes.
They have to press.
They have to. They're not doing much here. Now they're coming out after him, but one player is a low pointer, there's nothing.
They're going to call timeout with 1 second left.
They got it. Okay, timeout. All right, 35-34.
They're going to do the same.
Britain makes a turnover here, it's over.
They've got to press him, because right now they're just going to wait for another 1-2 second left, call timeout again.
Yeah. That is, Benoit doesn't seem to be hearing your thoughts on that. Nothing you could do.
They're going to call timeout again.
Yes, timeout. Joe Soros doesn't miss a trick when it comes to a trick, and that's a nice one. And that basically...
And Canada finally presses.
I don't know what... I have a feeling that if Dave Wilson was on the court, he would have been seeing that. You know, some of the Canadian players with a lot of veteran experience. Okay, inbound with 13.8. Unless we see a steal right now,
it's over.
I would say that the British Lions have taken the Canada team.
They're going to have to...
Oh.
That's the game.
That's a call that for reaching in. Legal use of hands. Not much else he could do. 12 seconds left. Basically, they just have to hold on to the ball. That's all they have to do. They pass it to Troy. Troy crosses across, and he scores. And that's the end of the game.
Yeah.
Basically,
big win for GB here. And it's a credit to those guys because they were really tired. They could have just like packed it in, but they fought through it. And
well,
they're
tell you
come
what,
out with a win.
Ross Morrison or Steve Palmer, who would you give as the player of the game?
I also like Jason Roberts.
Jason Roberts?
Yeah.
Troy was good too.
Yeah.
But I have to say the low pointer, Steve Palmer, with some of the breakaways he did,
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do Steve Palmer.
Yeah. Number 2 for GB.
He was the. I like the fact. I mean, he could have definitely lost the ball in those occasions. He held on to it. He scored, and it made a very tough for Canada when they were pressing. So if we can get
number 2 for GB, Steve Palmer.
Steve Palmer. Is that doable from our camera crew, Joe? No, it's neat. I haven't learned my way through the British team. This is really my first tournament seeing them, and I can see why they're going to be a tough team. When it comes
definitely have some weapons. They got the height, and when they're 2 teams combined, they're going to have a little bit more depth.
And I'll tell you what, our next game coming up,
that's a killer.
That's a killer. That's going to be.
That's the game.
It's what's been coming down to 2 unbeaten teams.
You're going to have the speed of Texas with Shinichi Shimakawa and Mark Zupan, the great play of both Class 1s, Norm Lydock and Scott Hogsett versus the well-rounded Alabama team. They got speed, they got size.
And they got pounding.
Yes.
They got the pounding. It's going to be, I'll tell you what, do you want to stick around and do some of this? Or you got something you have to do?
A little bit.
All right, stay in for a part of it. I think it's going to be one you don't want to miss. I'm really ready for this one, and here comes Steve Palmer to join us. See which is the best way. I'm come over here. Sorry, Patty. Steve, I have to say, great game there. You guys seem to have Canada's number. Tell us how it was being out there.
Just keeping it nice and calm. I think too many games in this tournament we've lost our heads. We've panicked too much. I think in that game we just played it nice and calm, played it our pace, and I think that paid off in the end.
You had a lot of scores there. They found you down there on the deep passes.
Yeah, well, it's always nice being the low point to sneak in for a couple of goals. You know, too many times the high pointers get all the glory. It's nice when some of the unsung heroes get in there as well.
Yeah, this is a high-scoring game for you as far as your score? Your amount of scoring you did?
I'm not sure. How many did I get?
Oh, I think you had about 4 or 5.
Check the stats. But
you would do.
If it's more than 10, yeah, it was pretty good for me.
Well, you know what? You're seeing how you guys shut them down in the key.
Yeah.
That was really the key to the game in terms of how effective it was.
Yeah, very much so. And it seems to be going back that way with the whole shot clock game. It's not so much pressing. You've only got a limited amount of time. So unless you do it first time or very least second time, you're not going to score that goal.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with your late game stamina because the guys there seemed to be a little lull early in the fourth quarter, but you guys gutted it out and you won the game.
Yeah, it's quite surprising because both 1-5s, myself and Jason. Jason's been out for 3 months. I had an illness last week and I didn't play, so I'm surprised that both the 1-5s lasted. I guess our strength and conditioning coach needs a pat on the back. Maybe I'll buy him a beer later on.
Good job, man.
Well, great. Good. Glad you came for this tournament, and congratulations for that victory.
Thanks a lot. See you again next year.
All right, see you next year.
Good job, man. Thanks a lot.
It's Rob Rowan with Marco DiPoltro saying thanks for watching that great game, and stay tuned for more great action on xable.com.